Hey guys, welcome back to episode number 2 of Hold Your Face podcast.
With me, Shelly McGee.
And me, Rhea Dixon. Thanks so much for coming back. You didn't have to do that. But this week we're going to talk about Shelly's journey on the court mainly. And then at the end we'll talk about your off the court a little bit and how you ended up wanting to do this.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. It's been a ride.
Tell us about your kind of introduction to top level netball, and well, obviously you started in major competitions before you started in the Super League, so I think we should start there, like your first major comp. And
yeah. Well, I played Gaelic football and netball at home, and Gaelic was my...
Sorry, pause. Where's home?
Ireland.
Okay.
Belfast.
Okay, continue.
Not telling you any more than that. Don't want any pod fans rocking up at Jandy's door. Yeah, so I played Gaelic and netball, and Gaelic was my first sport. That's really big at home, and I would play that like 5 nights a week. And then I'd play netball maybe once, and then we'd have like a game. So netball was more casual at home, but once I started like taking it more seriously and I got into the pathways and the underage national pathways, I kind of moved my way up, and then I debuted for the Northern Ireland Warriors in 2017, and then I went to the Commonwealth Games that April in 2018. So after going to Commonwealth Games, that's when I was kind of like, do you know what, I think I'm really good at this, I think I can go somewhere with it. Obviously there was things taken off in the Super League over in England, and we had some girls playing in the Super League as well, so I thought that was really cool that they were like over here playing. That was like Caroline O'Hanlon, Michelle Drain, Faye Toder, Neve Cooper. Lots of them were at like Team Northumbria. Caroline was at Sarins for a bit. And then, yeah, so like when I was like 17, 18, so 2017, 2018, I was thinking about like university and stuff, and also as much as I loved Gaelic and I thought I was really good at it, you can't really go out of Ireland with Gaelic, whereas I associated netball with like lots of international travel, and like I got to go away and play different countries, and maybe I could come to play in England, and it wasn't like semi-professional at the time, but there was definitely that like momentum that it was kind of going there. So yeah, like I decided that I would go to Loughborough because I wanted to study engineering, but also the netball team was really good there, and I knew about Lightning as well. So I went to Loughborough in 2018 as an undergrad.
And what was that like, leaving home for the first time?
I think at the time, like, it wasn't that deep to me. Like, I miss home now as a 26-year-old more than as an 18-year-old, because I feel like you're just caught up in it all. But yeah, I went to Loughborough with no one else. I didn't know anyone. I remember my mum flying me over and set me up in like the little flat, and she dropped me off to netball trials and went and got on the plane, and that was me just like in Loughborough on my own, and I did not trial well. I didn't even make the first team when I went to Loughborough. Yeah, I just remember feeling like I've come here for netball, I've left like everything for netball, and like, yeah, I came to get a degree, but I was like, I'm here for netball. I remember like not even making the first team, and it was just like, yeah, it was just like crazy, like such a transition, because I just always lived at home, like very dependent on my parents, really close to my family. But yeah, said that, like once I found my feet, loved it.
And did you have any experience with the Super League team? Talk about that and how your kind of first taste of, it was NPL back then, and the Super League.
Yeah, I remember like getting there, and like when I was at home, like obviously I debuted, so like to debut internationally at 17, like I really had this false sense of how good I was.
Really?
Yeah, I remember getting to like the uni trials and being like, why is the ball moving so fast, or like why are they all so good. And like, yeah, I played internationally at the Commonwealth Games, but like England's a completely different like thing. Like everyone is so good here, and like the standard is so good, and like I just remember I remember not making the first team and being like, fair. Like I didn't even take that personally, because I was like, I'm not where I need to be. But I think luckily I'd had a few coaches in my like corner. Like when I look back, I had just really great coaches and just like so much opportunity. Like I didn't obviously get on the NSL team. I was playing for the twos at uni, so I was playing Bucks twos, and then on top of that I got into the under 19 and under 21 Lightning squads, which was so good for me because it was just more and more netball, and that's what I needed. And then I also played Prem, so I played at Charnwood. We were Prem 3 at the time. And like my under 21 coach was like Vicky Burgess. Was it? Yeah, she definitely coached me at one point, and then I had like Sam Griffin, Francine Hall, like just really good coaches, and like good at coaching the basics as well.
Yeah.
And that's just what I needed.
Great coaches.
Shout out coaches. And like, so yeah, I was playing Bucks on a Monday, training, went to Lightning on a Tuesday, played Bucks on a Wednesday, Lightning on a Thursday, don't know what I did on a Friday, MPL on a Saturday, Prem on a Sunday. 6 days a week of good netball, and it was like exactly what I came here for, and I just like loved it, and I just felt like a sponge. Like I just took in everything and just learned so much.
I don't think that's even different now. Like you'd love to do that now. If you were allowed.
Yeah, they still do. The uni guys are crazy.
I know, but like loading wise, like you, as in
yeah.
you'd never be allowed, but you'd love to do that. Just now.
Yeah, it was literally my element.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, I didn't take it personally that I wasn't where I needed to be, but all I just wanted to do was play and get better, and I really felt like I did that.
Did you come in thinking I should be in the first team, and when you weren't, did you struggle with that, or did you just want to get better and that was it?
I think I came in like, to me it made sense I would be on the uni first team, like I just debuted for my country, but like I say, it's a different ball game over here, and no, I didn't struggle because I didn't take it personally, and I didn't take it as I'm not good enough, I'll never be good enough. I just took it as I'm not good enough yet. And when I seen like the facilities and the coaching and the environments that the girls over here had access to, I just thought I need a few years in that, and then I'll, like with my work rate, I'll get there. So no, thankfully I never took the hit personally. I was just like, like this is where I want to be then.
So you're in 17s and 19s and 21s at Loughborough.
Yeah.
When you were doing that, you had some experience in the Lightning environment, the Super League environment, or not really? Very
little. Like if there were low on numbers, maybe I'd come in. I did like one pre-season tournament, but no, I wouldn't have said I didn't like train with them or anything. They'd train on the court beside us, which was quite cool. But yeah, like dabbled, but no real NSL exposure, I would say.
So then tell us where your first Super League exposure.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was playing internationally as well, and we were training for the Netball World Cup in 2019, and Dan Ryan got the gig as the head coach in Northern Ireland.
What was that like? How did the girls feel about that? And like, was there chat about him or?
It was like a culture shock for both of us, like Dan coming in to us and then us getting Dan. And he was also assistant coach at Thunder. But I just remember being like so buzzing, like to be coached by him. He was so good, but he was also setting up the Leeds Rhinos, so he would be the head coach taking the Leeds Rhinos, a brand new franchise in their inaugural year, into the 2021 season. And he offered me a training partner contract in that team. So I had done my 2 years at Loughborough. So finished second year, we went into lockdown. I signed my training partner contract then, and then I went into final year, so still studying at Loughborough but playing as a training partner at Rhinos, and then that's where my NSL career began.
Yeah, so you were doing it all remotely?
Well, not initially. Initially, I was travelling to Leeds.
Yes.
So I was living with my housemates in Loughborough, travelling to Leeds twice a week to train. 2.0, lockdown 2.0 was kind of on the horizon, and everyone was stressed about COVID. We were all in bubbles. If anyone tested positive, it was like a nightmare. I just remember jumping on a call with like Dan Ryan and Sarah Whitehead. Shout out Dr. Sarah Whitehead, Lily. Jumping on a call and them just being like, Shelly, we've had to think about it. Like, you're on trains twice a week, like you're in a student house, like it's just like not ideal, you're coming into the environment all the time. So like we wanted to like explore the option of you moving to the netball house and being based full time at Leeds. And I was like, oh my god, yes. Like, yes. Live in Leeds, be in a full time programme, be training with you guys every day. Like, I literally didn't even think about it twice. I packed my suitcase, Vicky Oisola, shout out, picked me up because we would travel to Leeds together, picked me up like 6 a.m. the next morning, my full suitcase. My housemates were like, right, see ya. Went to Leeds and didn't come back for 4 years.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, it was like a complete no-brainer for me, because all I wanted, and the only reason I was in England, was to be in the best environment possible. So to be in Leeds Rhinos 5 days a week, be based in the netball house, full access to the programme, full access to all the staff facilities, was like, yes, and this is exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, it wasn't an easy decision for me, but there were factors like uni, what was I going to do, but that was all a second thought to me. I was like, I'll sort it when I get there. And I did my final year remotely. I'd travel a couple of times to Loughborough for a lab project, which you probably remember.
I've got to go back to Loughborough for my cells.
Yeah, I was like, you're cells in Loughborough. So I had to go back like every so often for that, but no, spent that year at Leeds, one of the best years of my life. Just absolutely loved it. Learned so much. Again, went back to like, oh my god, I don't belong here either. Like, I remember like the first few NSL sessions being like, I'm just like not good enough, but I'd had the experience. Like, I just had this belief that if you put me in the environment, I'll rise to the environment. So just get me in there, let me have a go, and then I'll get there. So yeah, like just to like train with like Jade Clark, Nelly, like you, Brie, like it was just so good, and I'm like exactly where I want to be.
Yeah, so we spoke about what happened in that season on court in the last episode. If you've not listened, go back. And how we both became training partners and ended up playing a lot because of the injuries we had.
Not me a lot, but I was in the game day all the time.
Yeah, a lot. So how did you find that, and how did that kind of set you up for your next few years?
I had a lot of role clarity at Rhinos, so
that was huge for us, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like Dan always would talk about.
I was like, I love being a training partner. I love sitting on the bench.
But like you actually, like,
I actually did.
Yeah, like you actually really felt like your contribution.
Yeah, completely
mattered as much, like everyone's was equal.
Yeah,
and it was.
But yeah, so obviously we'd had a lot of injuries, so I ended up always being in the game day 12. I would play here and there, like Vicky at the time was struggling a bit with her throat, so she was our goal defence. So if she needed like a breather or to get on top of something or a quick visit to physio or something, I would go on for like the last 2 minutes of the quarter. So that was like my first year of NSL, but like I said, I was so clear on my role in the team, and it was like I was there to learn and contribute whenever needed. And I really owned that, and I just felt like I was getting better in the background whilst the team was like achieving great things, and I'd get a stint here or there. But I remember I had like highs and lows. I think when you're playing for 2 minutes in a quarter, it's really hard to like. And I also was really hard on myself back then. I didn't really have like I was like, I need to turn the game around in these 2 minutes, like this is literally my chance, all or nothing. And then I'd be like in my feels because like I didn't get like game-winning interception or like in the 2 minutes, or like sometimes I just not touch the ball because I'm a defender and it's 2 minutes. So I'd be like in my feels like, oh, I have to go back to training, like go harder. But like I wouldn't change that because like I remember coming on in some games and like doing really well for the team. So yeah, that was just my role, to be there to learn, fill in when needed. We went to finals. I sat on the bench finals, didn't play. But yeah, I finished that year being like, yeah, like I'm good enough.
Yeah, so then fast forward to the next year.
Training partner again. I can't remember if I was disappointed. There was a lot of change, like Dan Ryan had left and the recruitment window gets really tricky when your head coach leaves. Had lack of clarity, but again, happy to be in the environment. Was going to move my life to Leeds, finished uni. Worked in like school as like a sport grad so that I could again commit full time to Leeds. Again, train full time. The way it happened, more injuries again. I think I started that season as like the starting wing defence. Played a lot more regularly. I'd probably play halves, shared the bib with another wing defence, but played like a lot that season. And again in wing defence, which I've ended up playing a lot more of. And yeah, I enjoyed that season again. Lots of ups and downs. Just kind of like navigating how like when you're on court you feel more responsible for how the team's doing, whereas my first year I was just like vibing on the sideline, like everyone was just so slay and I was like woo. But then being like on the court and you take more responsibility for like the wins as well, so you're more high with the wins but low with the losses. We finished 6th that year, which wasn't too bad, but yeah, we've not matched what we did the year before, so there was definitely an element of like disappointment in the group. But yeah, finished that year again being like, yeah, this is like where I want to be. Yeah.
So how was it going from, how did you feel in comparison to going to your last Com Games, obviously having so much more experience on a Super League court and just in high performance environments in general? How did you feel going into 2022 compared to 2018?
I think again, like I went in 2018 as just this like young bench player and I didn't play a lot, knew my role, I was there to learn, whereas 2022, although I was only 22, I was technically one of the more experienced players in the team, and again would take a lot more responsibility and feel a lot of what happened on the court. I think as well what's relevant is like, for example, Northern Ireland finished 7th in 2014, which is like incredible. We finished 8th in 2018, so like a real high for the team and the organisation, and we lost quite a lot of players, and just World Netball is so competitive now, like I think it's amazing, like it's so good. But with that, maybe we've not kept up as much, so we were starting to drop in the rankings, and I felt a lot of that because when we started to drop, that's when I started to play more, and you'll correlate the two. So I went into 2022 with a lot more on my shoulders, like I was like a starting player in 2022. I'm one of the more experienced and kind of one that was expected to step up. We finished 10th, which was, I think, good, like a good one for our group. We'd had like a pretty tough few years. I actually came out of it with a lot of wins. And thankfully I'd got my NSL contract for the next year before that. So Leanna had come into Rhinos at this point, Leanna Leoda, and she wanted to make sure we weren't playing Commonwealth Games with the pressure of a contract. Like she wanted to sort us out and then let us go in, which I thought was really nice. So yeah, I went into 2022 and I was like really proud of what I put out, and I showed like my versatility that I could play in the circle. and I loved Birmingham 2022. You were there watching every day. My sister was on the team. I loved my Northern Ireland team. My family was there. And yeah, I think I was just proud of how I showed up. Season 3, probably my toughest season to date. There was all these dramas at Rhinos where we signed strong 12 and there was just lots of issues with our imports and like injuries and things not going ahead, and I signed that contract. That was my first contract as a 12 player. And I signed that as the 12th player. Like, in my eyes, like, they'd sorted the whole team and there was a spot left for me, and Leanna decided to give me my first one. But yeah, I started that season and played that season as a starting goal defence.
What are you willing to go into what the issues are? What happened?
I don't think there's anything that deep, other than obviously it feels deep when you're in it, but basically I went into that season as a 12th player. In my eyes was like the starting goal defence. Leanna also put me in a leadership group role.
In your first contract?
In my first contract, yeah. And
did you feel ready for that? Did you feel for it? No.
No, I called my dad.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I get out of this?
Yeah.
And he was like, you don't.
And who were you with? Like, who was supporting you there in that role?
The leadership group was Ellie Bird, Elle McDonald and Nia Jones.
Yeah.
All like extremely experienced established players.
Yeah.
I felt so out of my depth on court and in that leadership role, and we lost our first 10 games. And again, I done that thing that I do where when the team starts losing, I correlate it to me being on court. So like, I'd been at Rhinos, we'd made finals, we'd finished 6th, so like we were, and at the time as well there was 10 teams, so like a 6th place finish isn't what it is now. Yeah, it's mid-table. So yeah, just playing every week, losing, didn't really have the tools to like find wins, and like I do reflect on it and be like, oh, it's actually a really good first season to have. But at the time it was just really, really tough, and I just really struggled with losses and losing, which I still struggle with now, but I think I had more. I think you just dream of Super League, and I'd finally got there and I'd got the starting bid, and we lost every game and I was struggling to find any positives with how I was playing. But again, I learned a lot from Leanna about leadership, and I also learned in that year the type of leader I wanted to be. So I would not change that year, because still to this day a lot of my behaviours are dictated by that year. Yeah,
I remember it so well, and it's so hard having a brand new team and not finding success in that, and a new coach, and then not knowing how each other tick necessarily, or what's going to set someone off, or how to get a group around each other and stuff. Like, if you were in a team that you knew and you knew how people worked, and it wasn't your first experience of this situation, it would have been so different and so much not easier, but it would have been, you would have known and had the, like you said, have the tools to bring yourself and your team out of it. Just so difficult to then keep picking yourself up every week.
Yeah, and like as well,
and the rest of the team as well, when you're in a leadership position.
And it would be interesting, like, if Paige and Bree come on, because they were in the team that year, like, to see what their experiences were of it. But like, to me, I would internalise a lot, so I kind of was on that journey with me. And like you say, just like know like what makes people tick. But I think for me, because I'm a very like, at that time maybe just like didn't have the tools to see the bigger picture, or like you said, acknowledge like new team, knew this, knew that. Like, it was my first playing contract. All I knew that was like, when you get a playing contract you should be good enough there and then. And now obviously with 6 years inside professional sport, I understand it's not like that, but at that time I just watched Super League on TV and I just watched you guys smash it before me. Like, I didn't know that years can look as tough as this. But like I said,
so many strong characters in that team as well.
Yeah, lots of really big personalities, and like we weren't clicking on court, which is gonna be challenging. But I think the reason it was so challenging for me personally was because I just didn't have the tools or the awareness
or the experience
off court or on court.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really, really tough year for me. But I was on the court a lot. I was in goal defence, which I loved, and I finished that year knowing the culture I wanted to contribute to at Rhinos the year after.
Yeah. So then that summer, signing window.
Yeah.
Did you know you wanted... Because I remember every signing window, it was kind of like you just had this intense loyalty for Rhinos and like you would never really consider looking elsewhere because, I don't know, talk kind of why you felt like that. And
I think like really practically, and not to like be hard on myself or anything, is like I'm just not a player that's gonna have millions of offers. Like, I don't think I'd kind of established myself in the league at that point. But like you said, I never even considered reaching out to clubs because I just loved Rhinos and I loved playing for Rhinos, and that was the club I was born at. Like, they're the ones that give me my first shot. They're the ones that put me in a leadership position. They're the ones that give me the bib. And I loved our life at Leeds, and I just felt like I had so much to give. Like, I was in my third year, but I was only getting started. And then that signing window was tough, to be fair. Like, a lot of players had left. Like I said, it was a really difficult year. And I was like, here we go again, like building another new team. But when I heard Jiva Mentor had signed, all my worries were put to bed, and I just thought, oh my God. So Jiva signed, and I just loved that, like the opportunity to play with her. We again recruited a whole new team.
Sorry, before we move on from Jiva, can you say about your first encounter ever with Jiva in Com Games?
Oh yeah. This is so funny. I told her this anyway, to be fair. It was like 2018 and we were on the Gold Coast at Commonwealth Games. And again, like I said, I was like a Gaelic player back then and I didn't watch a lot of netball. Didn't really know like all the big players, and obviously Jiva was like massive. And I think it was like Ebony and Amma had walked past our flat, and like Caroline and Shelly Drain were like, oh, that's like Jiva and all, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, who's that? And they were like, oh, they're like really famous netball players, like you should go and ask them for a photo or like an autograph. And I was like, oh, like, do you think so? I think they were like definitely taking the piss out of me, but I was like, oh really? And Shelly was like, yeah, I'll go get you a Sharpie. And I'd had like this ball that I'd bought. It was like a Gold Coast ball, and I was just hitting it against the wall when they were walking past, and Shelly was like, here's a Sharpie. So I like went running down the village. I was like, Jiva! And then she like stopped and was like, hey, obviously so used to it, and I was like, please can you sign my ball? And then she signed my little, it was like Share the Dream, which was like the motto for the games. And then she signed it, and I just took the ball and ran back.
So you didn't ask the other two?
I didn't ask Ebony and Amma either, because I didn't know who they were, and they were just like, oh, that's Jiva Mentor.
Yeah.
So I just went running down and just like took the ball.
Yeah.
So like apologies to obviously. Anyway, so I just went running back with my ball, and I still have the ball today. It says Jiva Mentor, and it's my little volleyball. Yeah, so cute. Obviously by 2024 I knew who Jiva Mentor was. And yeah, I was like so excited just again from a leadership angle, like the fact that she would come, I just thought, and like in a new team as well, like you really want to like trust the leadership in place, and I think that was like enough for me to want to stay again. We had recruited a really new team, but like I just loved that team, like just such great players, and I thought we had like a really lovely culture there, and we finished 5th that year, so like we were really happy with where we'd finished. I vice captained under Jiva, learned so much from her, and yeah, I just really loved that year, and I felt like I was playing good netball. Again, like highs and lows, but I just loved it. I loved that team, and we were really proud of finishing 5th.
Yeah. 4 years at Rhinos.
4 years at the Leeds Rhinos.
4 years in Leeds, living our best life.
Mm-hmm.
Then what happens?
The professionalisation is announced, so the league's going semi-pro. Rhinos are going to be in it. We were so delighted. We didn't know no one knew if their team would be in it. We were so delighted.
We've not really spoken about that, and how just no one knew what was going to happen. I remember being at Loughborough and there just being loads of meetings with the league, and then hearing about Forest coming in and whether there could be 2 teams in the East Midlands.
I heard there was like Manchester United at one point.
And some other rugby club and stuff.
Bristol Bears was like a thing.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Before we But yeah, like it's just gossip, isn't it? You don't know what's true, what isn't. But yeah, we found out Leeds Rhinos would be in the league the next year for the professionalisation phase, and I was just so like delighted for the club. But yeah, and then the teams would drop down to 10. So like obviously, well, for me as a player at that point, that was quite worrying for me, because there's like so many less contracts available, and it meant that the teams that were out, so like Bath, Sirens, Stars, Surrey, that's like 12 players from each team floating around looking for a contract, which makes it really competitive. And yeah, I had like my recruitment meeting I think after the last game, and Rhinos were only re-offering 4 players from our team, and I wasn't one of them at that time. So yeah, they weren't able to offer me a contract at that time.
So what are the thoughts going through the head now, not just netball wise but kind of outside of netball as well, because you just finished your masters?
Yeah, I just finished my masters, did an internship, and hearing that Rhinos didn't want me, it's just like really tough. I think I was really honest, it really caught me by surprise,
because you played such a big part in...
Yeah, and I thought I'd had a really good year. I was vice captain, not saying that automatically gives you a contract, but, and I think as well, like for a player, Rhinos, like they put me into the meeting, they said like, we don't have a contract for you, they give me time to suss out something else, like
you can't ask for more.
Yeah, the only thing that hurt was
not getting...
Yeah, and what Rhinos like was to me, so that was the only thing that hurt, but at least it was clarity, and I knew that there probably wouldn't or might not be a contract for me next year at Rhinos. So, but again, I was like, I want to play in this league, and I will put that first, and I will do what I can to put that first. So I DM'd Joe Tripp on Instagram. I was like, hey Joe, congrats on your finals campaign. Joe was head coach at Stars. Stars were not a franchise, but she was given a gig at Birmingham Panthers. And me and Joe had actually messaged each other before, so like in previous seasons, about potentially me coming to play for her, but just never really worked out for different reasons. And we had like our initial call, and at that time there like wasn't a contract for me that she could offer, but we just caught up about the possibility of working together. And her texted me being like, hey, I've got a contract for you. And I was like, what? And then at this point, like a contract kind of had come up at Rhinos, but I was in my feels.
Why?
I was just like, I didn't really feel wanted, which I know is, you can't really think that way because they're so hard to come by and recruitment windows are so tough, but I was just like, I don't really feel wanted. I'm really excited by this new opportunity. I'm really excited by Jo. Like, I heard such good things.
Yeah, what drew you to working with Jo?
Just like her success at Stars, but also like the culture that she built and that the Stars players spoke about, and a lot of those players would be at Birmingham. So I was just like, yeah, why not? Like, and again, I was never a player with coaches texting me during recruitment windows and having lots of options. So like the fact that Jo had like offered me and wanted to work with me was like massive for me, because I just worked so hard and really wanted to kind of grow my profile in the league. So yeah, I was just like, why not? You had already signed at Forest at this point, so I was like, perfect, like we'll both be in the Midlands. So yeah, I like signed my contract, and what was also important was like I had spoke to Jo about that I need money. Like, obviously the professionalisation is great, the increase in pay is great, but it's not enough to live off, and she said that Panthers actually had a role in the operations team behind the scenes that I could do part-time, so that was so perfect. I was able to fully commit to the full-time programme at Panthers, but then I was also working the operations team at Birmingham as well, and like to be a part of it behind the scenes in the inaugural year was so good. It was like such a start-up. We didn't even have like email addresses or like a Teams channel when I joined, and like what it is now, like it's incredible what they've done. So yeah, I worked for the operations team and played at Panthers in their inaugural year.
Yeah. Obviously a big change from you working in science.
I just
broadly
figure that things out.
No, I was going to say the company, but then I thought I don't need to say the company.
Drug development.
Yeah. Going from working in drug development to then working at Panthers, how did your two kind of jobs fit together?
So it was part-time and I was in the operations team, but like any startup, you just had to say yes to anything and help out where you could. So I ended up being on the contact us inbox, so if anyone was emailing complaining, that was me.
Not holding space for?
Not holding space for criticism. The actual ticketing platform, so sorting out group bookings. I helped with some community initiatives, so like we have an accessible coaching platform where clubs and schools can like book our NSL players. I had some like relationship management with like some of our partners. So yeah, and I was only part-time, so I wasn't doing too much.
But literally wearing so many different hats.
Wearing so many different hats, yeah, but just like so fun, and I just like love the team and just so many great people involved with Panthers behind the scenes. But to be like completely honest about it, to work for the club you play for is a lot.
Yeah.
And I decided I didn't want to do that anymore after my first year, just because there's things you should and shouldn't know as a player, and conversations you should and shouldn't be involved in, and it's such a hard line to establish and keep in place. And I just felt like as a person I want to fix everything, and I take a lot to heart, and I'm very emotional and
loyal. So when when you're in that club, like you say, you just want everyone to be happy, you want everything to go well, but realising that that's not your role, like as much as you had. I
took on a lot. And I think that's why someone like me can't work and play at the same club. So yeah, like I say, I loved it, but it was just too much for me. Like, so grateful to the club to give me the opportunity to like develop myself professionally. And yeah, like I'm still great friends with like the events team, community team, marketing team, like think so highly of them all. And had a good year at Panthers. It was really tough at Panthers, like being a new club is tough. Like I think we're a lot better set up now, to be honest. Like our second year we fixed a lot of the struggles that were going on behind the scenes, so
I think that's a sign of a really good club though, because
to fix it,
not everyone
would fix it.
Yeah,
like pretty much all the feedback given by players last year has been taken forward. Yeah. Shout out to James Keenan for the performance. So yeah, up and down year, just tough behind the scenes, dealing with injuries, so maybe like not at full strength. But yeah, enjoyed playing under Jo. She has a really different way of playing defence that I'd not been coached before, so I think it did take me a while to adapt to that, to be fair. I think I did struggle a little bit, but I definitely got there in the end and put out some performances I was happy with. Got some good wins, finished the year with a contract, but again a new coach. Jo left mid-season, another like struggle for the group. I think as well at Panthers, like I just got to play with so many amazing players and like good people, like Gabby Sinclair, like she's incredible. But then like the stars lot, like Siggy, Betsy, Jess, Gabby, Ruth, like just the most lovely people and just like such good players. Like I love being on that team, and I think that's what got me through if things behind the scenes were a bit tough. Like I loved being on the court and looking around and being like, I can't believe I'm on this team. Like and like Gabby Coffey, like I love playing with Gabby. And Jazz obviously behind us, like having an amazing year. So yeah, like I'm just like so lucky I got to do that year. There's like ups and downs of course, but yeah, finished the year with a contract. Jo had left, they had recruited Sonia, but we weren't allowed to know it was Sonia because she was still in her England post, so I had to sign an NDA to find out it was Sonia before I signed, just because like, I need to know the head coach before I sign at least. But again, new team, back to the drawing board. Like I said, we changed a lot behind the scenes. And I quit my job in the operations team and went into medical writing.
Okay, so that brings us to this year. How have you found it?
Tough.
Yeah.
Context.
Like
I said, enjoyed Birmingham, just didn't want to work for them and play for them. I have a degree and a master's in science.
It's not that I don't know what you do, it's that I was thinking
it felt like you didn't know what I do.
I was going to say engineering, then I was going to say biopharmaceutical development.
That's 3 seconds silence.
Then I was going to say sorry. Then I was going to say beep. So anyways, I had my degree and masters and I was aware I could go into something outside of sport. And that seemed ideal to me because I wanted money to live off and I didn't want to work for the club, so I applied for a medical writing programme. Medical writing, it's communicating science to different audiences, and I also needed a job in drug development that was outside of the labs because I couldn't be in the labs. I need to be able to work remotely or work flexibly or work hybrid. Yeah.
Because of netball. So medical writing came up as an option and I applied to a medical writing programme where you train for a year and then hopefully get promoted to being a medical writer. Got accepted to that in the summer and I started the programme and I loved it. And as well I got to do a few months in it before like pre-season kicked off, so I kind of got to find my feet a bit. Really enjoyed it. It was just a lot. Like I requested in the job to drop down to 4 days and it was declined. And then I was in Panthers a lot as well, so really long days, but like I said, I did enjoy it and I enjoyed the challenge and I like routine and I like being busy, so I was like, this is what I want to do, and like the pay was good, so that was worth it as well. But then I just like slowly, it's so hard, I don't know if I just wasn't good at medical writing or if I had too much on my plate, and I know a lot of people want to jump to, oh you've got too much going on, but like I don't know, like I just know that I started to really struggle in work and wasn't where I needed to be. As well, I'd just done Celtic Cup with the Warriors, and we fell like massively short of our targets, and I was really unhappy with my own performance as well. So I just felt so much failure, like I just wasn't doing well in netball and I wasn't doing well in work. I think I'm adamant to not say it's because I had too much going on. I think it was a mix of I struggled to get my foot and to really get a hold of like how difficult the career was, and like I didn't have extra hours to give. Like I was every hour of my day was at netball or in work, and I didn't have anything else. Whereas maybe if you are entering a career that's quite challenging, you can put in those extra hours in the early years to like get going. Whereas I couldn't, and like I say, netball comes first to me no matter what. So if I'm struggling, I'll do what I can to prioritise netball. So yeah, I was working all of pre-season in medical writing, trying to learn the role, really struggling. Unhappy with my performance in netball, was like a real low for me. And I got to the point where I handed in my notice into work, because I was just like, I can't feel this much this often all the time and not address it.
And that's the risk, I guess, that we take at this point in time, is like, you say if you don't feel like you're performing in netball and that's not going right, you also then have the added pressure of doing well and performing in your career. And depending on what career you go into, for example, with me at the pub, like I can't really fail or feel like I'm not performing at the pub, but if you do want to go into a career, that is, you have to hit targets and you have to perform. That is a risk that we have to take at this point in time, and I guess sometimes it pays off and sometimes you have to reassess, and I guess that's what you have to do.
Yeah, and like I think it's hard because like I didn't really want to admit that I was feeling or like how much it was affecting me, because I know people that do have dual careers, but I just got to the point where I was like, this is making me miserable. And
it's so relative as well, because people do have dual careers, but like that industry is so intense, plus you're travelling an hour to and from training. It's like, it seems
and I'm
small,
learning it, I'm not like established.
Exactly. Like there's so much going on other than just you being at that laptop and trying to learn the career. Like you've got so much going on. And then you have to do huddle clips, you have to recover, you have to try and socialise. There's so much going on.
And there's people that do it and like fair play to them, and I don't know if like it's just the wrong career for me, like because I'm happy to work hard and I'm happy to put in the hours, but I just got to the point where I'd been like 7 months into the job and I was like, I still have no confidence and like I still don't think I can do it. Like whereas I was so happy being in like the uncomfortable learning zone, if there was a light at the end of the tunnel, but I was like, I just don't think I'm that good at this. Like, so that was like a tough pill to swallow, but when you're in something it feels like the be all and end all. But yeah, I handed in my notice in like February, and that's when you got injured. So I was out of work, you were out of work, and then
we had this baby.
Then Hold Your Space Pod was born.
So what made you kind of decide that you wanted to start this?
Well, I always did. I was just waiting on you to... Because we brainstormed this in 2022 and you didn't want to do it. So I've just been sitting here waiting and manifesting. But no, I think I love storytelling. Like, I love it. I love podcasts. Podcasts are a big part of my life. Love storytelling, love podcasts. Love netballers. Like, I just think the coolest people are involved in netball. And we have like access to those stories, hopefully, if we want to tell them. And I just like love a chat.
Yeah.
Could chat all day.
Yeah, I agree. And the fact that we always have a podcast on when we're driving, and it's just nice to have a bit of company and kind of listen to something. I know you're genre you prefer, like informative?
Not all the time.
Not all the
That's my
time.
fun ones.
Yeah. But you like that kind of learning as well, and hopefully we're going to share and people can learn kind of what we're talking about. But I love just like stupid chats and
casual.
Fun stuff. So hopefully this will be a bit of a combination of both.
Yeah, we did speak about that, like Rhea touched on. I love like educational and important topics. Not that you don't, but you also just like love a chat, casual, catch up about each other's week. So we're hoping that it's a mix of that and like catching up with guests and stuff, but like each guest will come with a topic or a theme that they might want to speak about, and hopefully like we'll cover some good stuff. It's also such a niche because there's no netball players who have a podcast like this at the minute, so I just think it's an insight for people. Like no other cohort's going to go through the professionalisation ever again. Hopefully it's on the rise and no one will be pro in a few years, but I just think it's a bit of a niche. Obviously there's a couple. Nat Metcalf, she does one with Milks and stuff on motherhood. I know Ash Brazel started one, but I don't know if it's still running. So to us it was like a niche. And also a lot of what's happened in NSL 2.0 is a lot of the players have been like educated and pushed towards content creation, encouraged towards content creation. And I remember having this conversation with you of like, I really want to do it because like I enjoy storytelling and I enjoy content, but then it felt really unnatural to me because it took me 3 weeks to make TikTok. It's like, right, so like I enjoy the concept of content creation, but I don't love TikTok and Instagram. Like I post stuff on Instagram, but I really like the idea of our content being
just a chat
and topics that we think need to be spoken about.
So as I did with my schedule, will you just talk us through kind of what a general week in the life looks like for you?
So we're not in as much as Nottingham Forest, thank the Lord. So Monday is called Mockbot Monday. We all join a Teams call at 5 p.m. and we review the previous game from the weekend.
How long is that call usually?
90 minutes. So sometimes that'll be like Sonia presenting clips, sometimes we'll watch a quarterback together, sometimes our sports psych jumps on and asks about what we were feeling in the game, reflecting on things, sharing thoughts. Also on a Monday we have a power session, for our non-Irish listeners, which will be a lot. A power session, which we can do remotely, so I just do at my gym. We don't have to come together to do that, so we can tick that off. We have a lot of girls travelling, not Birmingham based, our team, so they've tried to minimise the time that we're in together. Monday's done, go into Tuesday, 4 p.m. weights until 5:30, so 90-minute weight session, 30 minutes to strap, see physio, blah blah blah, on court for 6, 2 hours on court, 6 to 8, done. Back in Wednesday morning, 8:15 for court prep, strap, physio, blah blah blah, on court 8:45 to 10:45. You can do what you want after that. You can go home, you can go for a coffee. We have massage slots, so you can access massage at the uni we train at. Or you can just go home or travel home or go study or do what you need to do. Then that's us until Thursday evening. We're in for PA at 5 and then we're on court 6 to 8. Depending on, then we'll just play on the Friday. If we don't play until the Saturday, we have a weight session on the Friday. But also what I forgot to include is we have one group session of weights a week, and that's on the Tuesday. But we also have another weights session on top of the Monday session, which you can do in your own time. So for example, on a Thursday, I get to the uni for 2 p.m. and I do my third weight session and optional conditioning. Because I don't work at the minute, I can do that. Whereas a lot of girls, maybe if they're at uni or at work, they might do that in the morning and then just be at the uni for 5 p.m. So that in itself is a massive difference from Forest. Is like we have our core sessions Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you fit in your not optional, the conditioning's optional, you fit in your sessions around your week and what your week looks like. And then the Friday you do a priming session for the game, so it's like a short 30-minute weight session. So yeah, we train a lot, but those 3 days we're in together.
Yeah. How do you find that? Do you enjoy that schedule?
Yeah, I liked it, and when I was working it was great as well. Like, it was doable. Definitely would want to do part-time just because I enjoy being able to do all the optional stuff and getting all my sessions in. To be honest, I don't think having so many players travelling is ideal, but that's just my opinion. I think netball should try and move towards having local athletes and being able to have the resource to support athletes to move locally. I just think it makes a difference, but again, I think that will come with professionalisation.
That's pretty much a wrap up of your netball career thus far. And then just want to touch on this summer coming up.
Summer sleigh.
Yeah, so...
Holidays?
No. We're talking netball. No, talking about netball. 2026, Glasgow Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
Captaining team
Capitano.
Northern Ireland Warriors.
Yeah, so exciting.
So exciting.
Glasgow, yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great. We have some big targets for ourselves as a group. The group's in a good place. Just excited to be reunited with the girlies, to be honest. The girlies from home hit different. Then I'm just back into a 5-week intense block.
Yeah. How are you feeling for Com Games and being captain for your first major comp?
I feel fine. Nothing changes with the captaincy bit. I'm nervous about being back in the circle at goal defence. But I will address that in due time.
Well, I'm sure Shona's got a big plan for you.
Shona and Judy.
Yeah, ready to prep you.
Yeah, Judy Gibson brought in as assistant coach for Northern Ireland, which is great. I'm really excited about that.
But you've not done any work with her yet?
No, just brief stuff. But yeah, no, it's going to be a massive 5 weeks to get all of our bodies ready, but it's all part of the privilege.
In camp.
Yeah.
It'll be really cool to hopefully get some content and kind of share what it's like, again, as semi-pros, some players not even getting paid at all.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to kind of talk about that, people getting time off work and like all of that as well. So kind of stay tuned for that. It should be out maybe August time.
Yeah.
But again, if you've got any questions, anything you want to see,
athletes you want to hear from.
Yeah.
Northern Ireland, Jamaica. But yeah, there's so much coming up before that. We're going to get some guests on the pod, which we'll reveal soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, just stay posted. And I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you so much. We take constructive feedback, but we don't like criticism and abuse.
Not holding space for abuse.
Yeah.
Holding space for
New ventures.
new ventures.
Yeah.
What's the difference between venture and adventure?
Venture is like business venture. Adventure is like a trip.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Thanks. Oh yeah. Anyway, thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you in the next step.
Bye.